Hey guys, what's up? It's Andy here, back at you with another video. And today we're talking about everyone's favorite thing in the world, and that is taxes. We're going to be looking at specifically SBC tax, which stands for Small Business Corporation. So small business corporation tax is one step above turnover tax, which I covered in a previous video. So if you are doing a turnover of less than 1 million, then go check out that video linked below. But now if you've surpassed that and you're in the 1 million to 20 million category, then you need to consider something called SBC tax. And it's not that complicated. It's pretty accessible. It's all, you don't have to like apply or anything like that. It's just when you do your income tax return for the company, you just select, yes, I'm eligible for SBC tax, and that's it. Then you get your tax reductions. So in this video, we're going to cover why it's there, how to qualify for it, and how much can I save. So let's, without further ado, let's hit the rest of the presentation. All right, so starting off, just quick disclaimer, not qualified to be giving this information at all. Do your own research, not financial advice, and the intention of this video is just to show you guys that it's not necessarily something that accountants have to do. I did this before I was an accountant, like in my first year or two of running a business. I did my own SBC forms, filled it in, did my returns, everything like that. It was all fine. But yeah, the intention is that you at least know about it, and you can take this to your accountants or your bookkeepers so that they can apply it. Because I have heard of accountants that don't necessarily know about it or aren't necessarily interested in getting that saving. Anyway, so that's my disclaimer. I started off with jumping straight into the savings of it just for retention purposes. Basically, if you have in this example, you have a company that's registered for SBC tax at 800,000 net profit, and then like a normal company, or any company that's ineligible for SBC tax. The SBC tax gets 27% of the amount above 550,000 and 58,013 Rand minimum, and then the company is just flat 28%. Then the tax, you can see company 224,000 and SBC company 125,513. And then the savings on that is, in this scenario, 98,487 Rand. So if you want to save yourself 98,487 Rand, I highly recommend doing SBC tax. It's almost a no-brainer. It does. So this scales up when we get to the requirements. You need to bear these in mind. It's going to scale up to, obviously, up to 20 million. And because there's 58,000 plus 27%, it's sort of the gains aren't like exponential. The gains sort of are quite a flat, steady line. I think probably the max saving you could get is like 200, 300,000, but then you really have to have you might have to have like a net profit of like 12, 13 million Rand, which, I mean, still, it's good savings at the end of the day. So moving on, why SBC tax exists. South Africa, according to Reuters.com, the unemployment is sitting at 35.5%, and that's as of 29 March 2022. So the unemployment is really, really bad. And if we don't get that under wraps, it's going to cause more problems. So government obviously wants to incentivize the growth of, they want to get more people employed. So to do that, they think, okay, what's employing the most people? And according to ifc.org, small enterprises employ between more than 50 and 60% of South Africa's workforce and contribute to around 34% of GDP. So the government was like, okay, let's make sure small businesses don't suffer and get a bit of an advantage, because it's hard starting a business in South Africa. It's not, I've seen lists where it's not, it's quite near the top of the hardest countries to start up with regards to legislation, time, money, access, registrations, all that. So, and then obviously you don't want the small business who's hiring most of your country's workforce to be taxed out of, through the roof. And usually these types of businesses that are eligible for SBC are small teams, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And those are sort of, those are fundamental cornerstones for South Africa's economy. So that's why it exists. I think it's a brilliant model. I think turnover tax, SBC tax are excellent savings mechanisms for any business. So if you guys are out there and you really and you're looking at it, I really highly consider it. Right. So the cornerstone of this video is how to qualify. And it's not the easiest. There are some requirements. So first thing, you've got to do less than 20 million Rand per year in turnover. So that's just your net sales. That's got to be less than 20 million per year. Sorry, I see a spelling mistake there now. Shareholders or members must be individuals and may not have any other interests in any other private entity except in two circumstances. So you can own publicly traded companies and private companies that are winding down or being liquidated. So if the company is basically not making profit and it's like dormant, that also counts. You can have a dormant company and it doesn't own assets. So those are the two things. It should actually say public company and winding down. So you can own shares on the JSE and stuff like that. That's fine. But you can't own any shares in any other private company. And that's any of the shareholders in that case. And then this also, I think, applies to CCs. But yeah, you might have to. I'm not too experienced with the CCs. Next, not more than 20% of all income can consist of investment income or personal services. So if you're offering like advisory or consulting, this might not be a situation where you can benefit from. But if you're doing like retail, buying and selling goods, that's fine. And then the last one, I put a little asterisk because there used to be, this was taken from a 2016 thing and then it's still 2018. It's very hard to get these requirements from SARS, to be honest. But there was a requirement you had to employ more than 3 non-connected natural persons. And I remember this was a requirement the first time I applied for SBC in like 2019. And it was quite, you have to actually, if it's just 2 people running a business, you actually have to have a third non-connected person. So you can't just hire like your brother or your mother or something like that. So that's the difficult part. You have to do make sure that you qualify and that you know what you are applying for and that your accountant asks you these questions when you click that box. Yes, I'm eligible for SBC tax. All right, so we're now doing small business corporation. So this is just obviously the tax schedule. You can see here something I didn't mention earlier with SBC tax is that it's kind of your benefits start getting slightly less to a point, but like overall compared like relative to your income, they obviously still get your turnover, they still get better. But like if you're making 91,000, if you have 91,250 net profit at the end of the year, you pay no company tax. If you're registered for SBC, that's 0. So they're already 91,250 in savings, as opposed to, well, not savings, as a no tax paid. If you were a company, you would pay 28% of 91,250 as of current times. Then you can see as it goes up, it changes and so forth. So use this if you want to calculate what your savings are. Take your net, your taxable income at the end of the year, find out where it lies, and do the calculation. And then what I think is going to be really interesting is the tax rate's going to go down to 27% next year. So I'm wondering if on the SBC side, is it going to go down to, because all of these sort of like this highest bracket is 58,013 plus 27%. I wonder next year that's going to be at 58,013 plus 26%, because of, if it was 27% and the normal company interest rate is 27%, the SBC tax is going to not be as beneficial next year, next financial year. So we shall see. And that pretty much brings us to a conclusion. So hopefully this helps you out a bit and gives you a bit of understanding about SBC tax and the requirements of it. I'm Andy. I do business videos, how to get a business off the ground. There's a bit of Takelot stuff. I've got a Takelot course in the description below, and a bunch of other links to software that I like to use. And yeah, best of luck to you guys in paying your taxes, and I'll see you guys in another video.